Welcome back to Discovering DataFlex. And today we are going to build a function, and we're going to do it while staying to something that looks like test-driven development. First of all, in order to make a global function, we need to make a new file. This is just where I want to keep them. And this should be like a class file or something. Let's call it C utils. So here we have a class called utils. We want to go into our web app source. Double click here, we get to the web app source. And here we want to use C utils. Dot pkg. And now we would like to create a function, and we would like to test. So what this function is going to do is remove apostrophe surrounding apostrophe from string. And the first assertion should probably be that we test to call this function move remove surrounding apples from string. And we do have some parameters, which is the string. And in this case, we do have apostrophs, so we need to double quote them, or just for clarity, let's put them inside of this test string. So this is more or less what we want, and then we want a yeah, that's true. We want the result. So we need a string is result. We're going to do that to is result. And then our first assertion should be that the is result is the same as the result. Check this one for now. And if we run this, will it run? No, it will not run because we don't have this one implemented. So what we want to do here is go in and create a function, remove surrounding strings. That takes a string as a parameter. and return. And we want it to return test string. Because that was the test is saying. Oh, we got an error here. Let's see, symbol, remove surrounding string. Undefined symbol in argument. Why isn't this one included? That might be that it's only included here. So if we put it up here then. So now that we run unit test, okay, invalid message. Could that be the strange apostrophes then? Object string src. Object. We need to write global to make sure that this is a global function. And we run and check string. And it's green. So I actually don't like that it's filling the entire height here. So I'm basically going to go in and set this to false. And set a fixed height instead. So if we stop this, fill height false. Height 200. I want it to be 500. There we go. Now we did run our first test. And it was successful, but I actually wanted to run this test and see if that is successful as well. Yes, that works. But then let's go down here and make a new assertion. And in this case, we're going to create another string here, other string, to make sure that it can handle multiple strings and not just the test string. This time we should actually expect it to be other string, not test string. So we need to update in both places. Unit test run. Now this one fails. So it was expecting other string and return test string. So we need to update this one to actually do something with this. We need to fix this string is return. And then we're going to move it. And it takes a string. And it takes a number of characters. And we want to know how many characters we have. Integer count. Size string is source to count. And here we want a number of chars is the char count -2 because we want to remove 2. And we want to start at position 1. That 2 is return. and then we return is return. And now we run our test again. And now they both fail. Okay, so that's because we have an integer that's incorrect. So we should move that to 2. And I also want to make a small update here. Check string, check other string. So we can see the difference. Let's see if we can get both of those to work. Yeah, now they're working. Great. So now we just want to make another test. And in this case, we want to test with a regular string. And we actually want this regular string to be returned correctly. So we expect the regular string to be returned. And then we run again. And check the unit test, run test, and it fails because now we got the regular string instead of regular string. So we are missing something in our function here, and that is we need to check if mid is there C, 1 characters, the first one is if this is equal to that, and position -1, I guess, in and if nothing happens, we just want to move the src to the result. And let's see if this solved our issue. Well, it solved this issue, but this does not work anymore at all. So there's something that does not work with this question. Just gonna see what this does. -1. Let's return, and then we're going to set some breakpoints here. Oh, let's recompile this. Run the test. Now it's checking position 1. So what do we have here? That's correct. And what do we have here? That's blank. Okay, so we have char count. And what happens if we put char count here instead? And rerun this. Perhaps that will make things better for us. We know this one works. Does this one get the right value? Yes, this one works as well. And now we go in here, we can remove these. And of course, this will fail the last one, but that's just because it's a test. And now it should work all the way through. And this one, I should give this another name, check non-string. So now we have a unit test that checks for all of these cases. Can we imagine some other case that could happen? So there you have it. Now we can build procedures and functions that return a value, and that we can check that the value that is returned is correct based on a few tests. And we can now use this to implement automated testing for functions. I don't spend too much time doing testing on queries that go back to the database or interfaces, because we have users actively using and checking. But if I write some code sometimes, like a function that's supposed to do something, it's nice to have some tests that can actually verify that I haven't removed some functionality that I expect still to be there when I'm done. So it's a nice feature to have, especially if you're making some complex functions. I hope that was useful, and that you maybe apply some unit tests to your code. And then next week we are going to use this feature, and we're going to update the import function, because there is an issue with the CSV import script that we have, and we want to solve that next week. See you then.